Hi, good morning. This is Trina here to discuss about stereochemistry. And here today I will tell about three-dimensional structure, optical activity, and chiral center. So in my personal information, I have given my contact number and email ID. So if you have any doubt, you can communicate with me. And the most important part, that is the course page. So here I have uploaded entire study material, all the probable questions, semester questions, and the solved problems. So first of all, you have to enter with this code DMBC, then you can access entire study material. And the course name is chemistry, and the subject code CH101 for odd semester, CH201 for even semester. This course is for undergraduate BTech students. The streams are CSE, IT, Civil, Mechanical for even semester, and Electrical, EC, BME for odd semester. And the credits 3, contact hours 35. Weekly I will take 3 lectures. And the prerequisite knowledge required to understand this concept is 12th standard. So here the outcome is given for the students and the lecture plan is given here. So students, you come to know that in which day each lecture will cover which topics, that is given in the lecture plan. So today we will start the module 3, that is stereochemistry. Stereochemistry, and today I will tell the first lecture, that is the highlighted already, representation of three-dimensional structure, chirality, and optical activity. So from this lecture, you will understand three-dimensional structure of different molecules along with chirality, optical activity. Okay, so first of all, I like to show you one video. So here you can see that what is the stereochemistry. Basically, the stereochemistry, that is the spatial orientation of different molecules. We write the formula, that is the two-dimensional, but the molecules basically are the three-dimensional objects. So if you see that how it moves and how it remains in space, then you will be easily, you can understand all these things. You will be understand easily. So now have a look. So there are different terms. I will explain one by one. So here you can see the carbon atom to 4 different atoms or groups. And what is the chiral compounds? If it contains different groups, like say the carbon, it is the yellow colored, and the different groups like red, green, white, and blue. So optical isomers, which are the chiral, these will show the optical activities. These are the optical isomers. They have different chemical reactivity, and you can see that how it is superimposing or not. So it is not superimposable. The mirror image is not superimposable. Here are different the amino acids and the proteins, hormones, enzymes derived from the amino acids. So these are different examples. You can see that which have the chiral carbon. So here you can see the 2 optical isomers, and there are different biological compounds. There are different atoms, and it has different possible isomers. So in this way, you can get the 3D representation. So all the organic molecules, they have the 3-dimensional representation. One, it is the carbon, and it has the 4 bonds. So it is different examples. You can see that how it is moving, what is the optical isomers, what is the the optical activity, what is the chirality. All these things you will learn gradually. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. You have understood that the concept of the stereochemistry. So stereoisomers you will be learned here. So stereochemistry is the study of relative arrangement of atoms or groups in a molecule 3-dimensional space. So if I say that define the stereochemistry, now you have seen a video. So here you have got the concept, got the idea. So you can define what is stereochemistry. Is the study of relative arrangement of atoms or groups in a molecule in 3-dimensional space. Stereochemical isomers are the molecules which have same formula and bond connectivity but different relative arrangement in 3-dimensional space. So here you can see the examples. So first one, that is the structural isomers. If you count the number of carbon, number of hydrogen, that is similar. Here it is the carbon and 4 carbons. Here in the second picture also there is 4 carbons. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 in this picture, also 4 carbons in this picture. Now if you count the number of hydrogen, so here 10 hydrogen, here is also 10 hydrogen. So this is the isobutane, this is N-butane. So here what you observe, there is only difference in their bonding. Okay, only difference in their bonding. So this is called the structural isomer. And I will tell in the isomerism in the next lecture elaborately. So today just observe the different representation of and the different isomers. That number of the carbon, number of hydrogen are same, but their orientation and the arrangement in the space is different. So here you can see that there is 2 components given. These are the stereochemical isomers. So you are getting the different types of bond representation. Here it is the solid line, that is in the same plane, that is the dash, that means at the back side. This is the wedge at the front side. So in this way we can represent the structure. So generally we write that 2-dimensional structure. For 2-dimensional structure, you know very well, that is the single lines represent single bond, pair of 2 parallel lines represent double bond, and the sets of 3 parallel lines represents triple bond. So that you know very well. Now, like say ethylene has 2 bond, double bond, okay, or H2O or any compound you will get the single bond, like CH4, it has the single bond. So in this way you represent the 2-dimensional structure. Now the 3-dimensional structure have different representation. So it is only showing the 2-dimensional representation of the methane. So here it is in the 2-dimensional sheet. You are getting that all the solid bonds. Next, if we represent 3-dimensional, so there are different models, different ways. So sometimes you will see there is the dashed bonds, there is the solid lines, there is wedge bonds. And here you can see the three, this one is the, I'm showing you. Okay, so this is the solid lines. This is the dashed bonds. This is the wedge bonds. So here it is written. Okay, this one. So this is the dashed line, and that is the, let me show again this part, the dashed, and this one is the wedge bonds. Okay, next picture you can see the ball and stick models of methane. So it is the methane, but here is the one model that is called ball and stick model. So here you can see the ball and stick model. So in the center there is the ball and ball shaped carbon, and it has 4 sticks. So it is the ball and stick models. Next, I'm showing the different representation with dibromobutane. So first one is the Fischer representation. So Fischer representation, nothing but like the 3D representation in the 2-dimensional way. So here you can see vertical line and the horizontal lines. So in the intersection point, there is the carbon. In this intersection point, there is carbon. So it may be chiral or it may not be chiral. So what is chiral? I will explain you later. So this is the representation of the Fischer representation. Next is the Newman representation. So Newman representation, here you can observe the first, in the front side there is a big circle, and at the back side there is a small circle. So big circle, so this is representing the carbon, and at the back side there is a back side carbon. So how we get this type of representation? If we look the molecule from the front side, we get this type of representation, that is called Newman representation. So after Newman representation, we are telling about Sawhorse representation of the same compound 2,3-dibromobutane. So it has the similarity with the Newman representation. What is only difference? We are looking from which side? So it is, if we looking from the downward, from the bottom, then we will see that it is the top carbon, it is the at the bottom carbon. So it is a similar representation, the Sawhorse and Newman's, only the difference from where we are looking. So for Newman, we are looking from the, we observe view is from the front side, and here the view is from the bottom. So next one is flying wedge projection. It is also very important projection, and we can understand from this projection that the which group is in which plane. Only the, if all the groups are in the same plane, then only the reaction take place. In the organic reactions, you have learned different types of reactions like SN1, SN2, and you have seen the nucleophiles attack from the backside, and then another nucleophile is removed. So this type of reaction possible if only all these are in the same plane. So how we can understand that which are in which plane, which groups in the which plane. So we can understand from the flying wedge projection it very well. So you can observe there is 3 types of bonding. I have already told before, this one is the solid line, that is the wedge, and that is the dashed line. So these 3 you are getting here. So what it represents? So you observe the first one, while representing a molecule, we consider a plane in which two or more bonds exist. The other bonds are above or below the plane. For convenience, we shall denote the horizontal as the plane. Okay, so first one, you are getting that this is the solid line. So this is the bond on the plane. Okay. Next is the wedge. That is the wedge. So bond above the plane. It is the bond above the plane or towards the viewer. That means if I am writing on the board, it is towards me. Next is the dash. This is called dash. Dash represents it is the below the plane or away from the viewer. Okay, so you have understood that the representation here, and I'm showing you another, the similar representation. So for the methane, this is the carbon, and here you are getting the solid line, these two solid line, the hydrogen is bound with the carbon. These bonds in the plane of the paper with the same plane, and bond going the backward. If the dash line, that means the bond going backward direction out of the plane of the paper. And if it is wedge, so bond coming forward in front out of the plane of paper. So I hope that you have understood the different types of representation. Now I will tell about chirality. Oh, sorry, just, okay. So what is chirality? Already you have seen in the video that what is chirality. So a molecule, now if we represent in the definition form, so a molecule is described as chiral if it cannot be superimposed on its mirror image. For example, a tetrahedral carbon is bonded with 4 different groups. So in this given example, you can observe that the carbon is chiral. Here the carbon is chiral. Okay, this carbon. It has the 4 groups. That is the hydrogen, OH, bromine, CH3. So all these are different groups. So when we get the mirror image, that is the mirror image, so this is not superimposable. If you take these things by the hands, you will be more clear. So if it has the 4 different groups with the carbon, that is called chiral center or chiral carbon. So here you see with our hands, that is also chiral. That means if you consider that is the carbon, then here is the COH carboxylic group, one methyl group or alkyl group, one amine group, another is hydrogen. So these two are non-superimposable. If you keep hand on hand, that is not superimposable. So that is why this is called chiral center. Next is achiral carbon. That is just opposite of chiral, achiral. So here look at this figure. So here you can see the carbon. So 1, 1, 2, 2 and 3, 3. So similar groups are there. So if we take the mirror image, so they will be superimposable. Okay, that is called achiral carbon. Next is optical activity. So optical activity. So which molecules is optically active and which is not? So basically the plane polarized light, if we pass through a molecule, if it can rotate, if it can change the direction of the light, then it is called optically active molecules. Okay, it can rotate in clockwise, it can rotate in anti-clockwise. So now I will show one video that how it works, then you will be more clear about this. Okay, so it is the beam of light. It can give the vibration, that means light, magnetic light, in the all direction perpendicular to it. Now it is the polarized film. It can absorb all the lights except the plane polarized light. Now you can see the beam of plane polarized light. Now if there is any molecules, if say any like lactic acid or anything, if it is chiral, if it is optically active, it can rotate the direction of the light. So here the different, it is the analyzer is used. So you can measure that which direction it is moving, either the clockwise or anti-clockwise. So I hope that you have understood the video. So here is also the picture is given that the non-polarized light, and now it is the fixed polarizer, it is the polarizer, and the sample of the tube, now it is the detector. Okay, so basically the molecules that are chiral can rotate the plane of polarized light. So the property of rotating the plane of polarized light is called optical activity. And it is the phenomenon that has been known for over 200 years. It is not the unique of molecules. Some crystalline forms of course have it. For example, many sugars have this property. Okay, so you understood what is the chirality and what is optical activity. So now let's get example. So first example here, it is the optically active. Why first look here, this is also a chiral, that means chiral center. It has the chiral carbon. The carbon having different groups. So this is optically active. This one is butanol. Next is the lactic acid. So lactic acid, this is, you can see the L positive lactic acid and L negative lactic acid. These are the isomers, the same formula, but the spatial orientation arrangement is different. And in which one is the plus L lactic acid and which one is D minus lactic acid? So one is rotate, one molecule rotate the light, plane polarized light toward rightward direction, that means clockwise. Another move the direction of the light anti-clockwise or left direction. So that is why like the D lactic acid rotates the plane polarized light toward right. Okay, whereas the L lactic acid rotates the plane polarized light towards left. So L polarized light, the first one, it rotates towards left direction. And the second one, the D minus lactic acid, it rotates in the rightward direction. The rotation of the plane of polarization may be either clockwise to the right, that is the dextrorotary, D rotary, or to the left, that is the levorotary or L rotary. Okay, so based on the rotation, direction of the rotation, we are telling the L plus lactic acid and D minus lactic acid. Now you are getting another examples. that is that is also the chiral. You can see the carbon contains the different groups. One is hydrogen, another is this carbon contains hydrogen, bromine, chlorine and fluorine. So what happens? So the mirror image we are getting, that is not superimposable. Okay, now let's summarize. So what you have learned today? You have seen a video, you have learned the different representation, the 3D representation, like the Fisher representation and the ball and stick. So what are the first two? Recapitulate what you have learned. Let's see the three-dimensional representation, that is the Fisher representation you have learned. You have learned Newman representation. You have learned Sawhorse representation. Also the flying wedge projection. So different representation of the three-dimensional structure you have learned today. Next, you have learned that what is the chiral center, what is the chirality, and you have also learned what is the optical activity. And also you have seen the video, that means you have visualized, you can visualize by this video. So next I am asking few questions. Let's check you can answer or not. Okay, so first question is, define optical activity with example. So you can define optical activity and you can write any chiral carbon structure. You just write a carbon and with the forehand you give different groups like hydrogen, OH, bromine, CH3, then it will have the optical activity as it is the chiral center, chiral carbon. Next is explain chirality with example. So you can give the same example. You will say the carbon having 4 different groups, which is not superimposable with the mirror image, that is called chiral carbon, and that is this structure is called the chirality. Next is, which of the following shows optical isomerism? So look here, the first one, the carbon, this carbon, you consider this carbon, okay? Then look that which groups are attached. So 2 hydrogen, 1 COH group, 1 NH2 amine group. So 2 hydrogen, so 4 groups are not different, 2 are similar. So it is not the chiral. It is not, it will not show any optical isomerism. Next carbon, consider the next option, this carbon. Okay, so it contains 1 hydrogen, 1 aldehyde group and 2 methyl group. So this is also not the chiral. So it will not show any optical isomerism. Next carbon has 1 amine group, 1 hydrogen, 2 methyl group. So it is also not. So last option, this carbon contains 1 CH3 group, 1 COH group, 1 hydrogen, another OH group. So our correct answer is the last one. Okay, so I hope you have understood very well the stereochemistry, that is the starting, the first lecture of the stereochemistry. So now I am ending the session. If you have any doubt, you can communicate with me. Thank you, everyone.